Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Gemini energy. And like usual on this channel, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Gemini. The bottom row is going to be a more worldly, shadowy Gemini energy. We all have our dualistic nature and we battle within ourselves. We have to make decisions in life. And in our high vibe energy, we might want to do things differently in our life, have some more hope and faith and belief in ourselves, work through some of our fears and our insecurities and our self-learning beliefs to move forward in life differently. But we can struggle within ourselves because we all kind of like to stay in our comfort zone. We'd all like things that we've already invested in to work out the way we'd like them to, but, it takes other people working cooperatively with us in that way for us to have that dream come into reality. And some of the people that we'd like to work with in our life aren't working cooperatively with us, and we've kind of maybe seen the truth of it. And if this isn't another person, this can just represent how you have been living in your life. So let's go look at the bottom row first. Good news. So we have thoughts, poverty, playmate, timing, lilies, murky thoughts, official person, mature man, and the Ace of Pentacles. So, the thoughts card makes me think of the King of Swords. Kind of, we'd like to think if we keep doing things the way we've been doing it, we just hope. We kind of hope that as time goes by, maybe we could be waiting for someone to communicate with us because we'd like them to move forward with us. And there's a part of us that would maybe like to keep hoping that some other people would kind of see the truth and detach from some of their old ways of being to be in a relationship with us. But that could be us in the Lilies card, which is Capricorn energy, kind of aligning with our more worldly nature, and the murky thoughts, kind of wanting to kind of live in illusion, hoping that other people will change, which the only person we can change is ourselves. But to do life differently in the official person, the mature person, and the gift of money being like the Ace of Pentacles, we have to deal with the truth. And we'd have to take action in our life to stand up for ourselves and what we believe in. And we'd have to invest in a new beginning. And because we could prefer to keep living life the way we've done it, hoping things will work out the way we want. But the longer we stay kind of resisting, so you can see how we'd kind of like to defend the way we've been living life and be resistant. The masculine figures can represent us taking action in the world. And we're kind of defensive to having a new beginning because we'd like things to work out the way we want. But, it's all dealing with the truth. The truth sets us free. And if there's people that we would like to work with, but those people aren't communicating with us and working together with us on that new beginning, well, are we going to let it keep us stuck, not moving forward in our new beginning? So, the reason for the reading for the top row is the Mice card. It causes us worry, loss, stress, theft, deterioration, lack, sneaky, toxic, draining, and scarce. It kind of eats away at the new beginnings and things that we could invest in. And I think high vibe energy would want us to look at the fact that God has a plan for our life, and God knows what other people are motivated and inspired by, what lessons they need to learn in life, what lessons we need to learn in life. And I think life is all about learning these lessons, but we have to be willing to face our fears about moving forward in life and facing our fears to kind of go with the flow. If there's people in our life who aren't working with us cooperatively, then we need to deal with the truth of that, face our fears about moving forward in life differently. So in the top row, we have the birds, the despair, the journey, and the fox. So the birds is kind of being in tune with the universe. We can try to force things to go in our favor. We can keep saying like, no, God, I want that person to be in a relationship with me. But Sagittarius energy is kind of about going with the flow. Everybody has lessons to learn. Maybe some of the people we would like to be in relationships with aren't ready to move forward because life is about learning these lessons, and maybe they haven't learned some of the lessons they would need to learn in life to be in a relationship with us in the way we would like to be in a relationship with people. And so then Sagittarius energy is about higher learning and education and being willing to wrap our brain around the fact that we are sad that some people aren't working together with us, but life is a journey and we have to accept the truth of the situation. The Fox card is Scorpio energy. If we know we want to be in deep, meaningful relationships, we might know some people that really don't want to be in more deep, meaningful relationships. Our worldly nature can be all these other things we look to in the world to make us feel better or make our life about. High vibe people want to be in deep, meaningful relationships based on truth and love and justice and fairness and character and integrity. And some other people, that's not where they're at right now, and they may never be there. And they have a way of living life and what they want to invest their time, energy, and effort into that is aligned with the truth of how they view life and what they think will make them happy. And it could be living more from their mind than their heart, making their life more about the world, making their life more about indulging themselves in the world. You know, maybe with time, they will, if they keep repeating a pattern over and over, you know, it can be, again, also resisting change, unwilling to get out of your ego or your immature nature or your indulgent nature or your defensive or prideful nature. You know, people can have their own lessons to learn in life. They're on their own journey. You're on your journey. Maybe at some future point in time, you'll both be on the same page at the same time. But if you're not on the same page at the same time now, we have to be willing to go on this journey. The Fox card kind of reminds me also of Seven of Swords energy, which is Aquarius energy of having this dream. And some people still have a lot of mental conflict about listening to their intuition. They could live more from their mind than their heart. Some of those people could like and want to be in a new beginning with you, but they're still kind of manipulated by their fears or their insecurities. Maybe they don't think they have enough stability or security in their life to be in a relationship with you. Maybe they don't feel good enough. Maybe it would require them to detach from an old way of living life or viewing relationships. And I view the King of Swords as a person's kind of like self-protective, defensive nature. I don't want to do love because I could get hurt doing love. And even though I could be drawn and attracted to people because that puts me in the danger zone that I could get hurt, I don't even want to get hurt. I'm just going to live more from my mind than my heart, indulge myself in the world and in relationships, even if I'm in relationships with people who I might just be indulging myself with. At least I won't run the risk of being hurt because I'm not maybe even viewing them as someone I would want a deep, meaningful relationship with. So therefore, I don't run the risk of getting hurt. And that's where some people are at in the world. I don't want to even work through my emotional confusion about it. I might not want to stand up for myself to my own shadowy nature, or my more immature nature, or my more defensive nature. I might not want to see the truth. And as long as people want to stay in denial of the truth and not face their fears and insecurities, maybe they have past pain and heartbreak or self-limiting beliefs that manipulate them. And as long as they're not willing to deal with the truth of it and be inspired to work through those things, it will keep making them stuck. And they will keep repeating an old pattern to indulge themselves in whatever they indulge themselves in or make their life about, if they think it will keep them from having to deal with those issues. For some, if they were to get in relationships with people who are more loving and nurturing, it would require them to work through those past pain and heartbreak or self-limiting beliefs. And you have to even want to invest the time, energy, and effort to want to work through those things, and some people don't. I want to keep those things buried beneath the surface. I do not want to deal with them. And so that means there's certain people I can't be in a relationship with, because these things that manipulate me don't manipulate them. They might have worked through some of their own pain and heartbreak and self-limiting beliefs, but I haven't. And as long as I haven't, those people live life differently, view life differently, have more hope and faith and belief in themselves, have more hope and faith and belief in love. And maybe I don't. And as long as they don't want to deal with those issues, we can be sad, but we have to accept the truth of it. Our dreams coming into reality aren't codependent on certain people being in our life. It's being in a relationship with people who are on the same page as us. And so we don't give up our dreams. We keep in high vibe. Since the Seven of Swords reminds me of Aquarius energy, we have a dream. And in Scorpio energy, we want to be in these deep, meaningful relationships. And as long as some of the people we would like to be in a relationship with have all these things that kind of manipulate them, they're not on the same page as us. But God wants us to have our divine inheritance. Life is about learning lessons. We came into contact with some people that, as time went by, we could have kind of realized we weren't on the same page. We could have been ready to move forward in life differently. We could have stood up to our more defensive nature, immature nature, fearful nature, past pain and heartbreak nature. And we did invest some time and energy to work through those things to free ourselves from it. I learned maybe to love myself, to believe in myself, to be inspired to believe in my dreams. Or maybe before, when I got in certain friendships, jobs, or relationships, that's not where I was at. But during the course of that, I could have done this work within myself. I could have thought everybody was going to do some of that work within themselves to free themselves. And then I could have found out that some people weren't and they don't want to. And it's like, so you're just going to keep letting those things kind of eat away at you? Don't you periodically look through your fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs and kind of work through them so you can drop the baggage? And some of them might say, nope, I don't do that. I just live more from my mind than my heart. I don't want to look at those things. And we just have to accept the truth of that. And though we could be sad, I'm going to keep believing in my dreams. So, what's coming up for some of the people that harness some high vibe Gemini energy? Which Gemini energy is a dualistic sign, and it is about our free will and what our truth is. Is it more about hope and faith and belief in love? Or do we kind of reject that, make our life more about being defensive, more about ourselves, more about looking to things of the world to make us happy or indulge in? And some people in their Gemini energy are more motivated and inspired to have hope and faith and belief in themselves and in love and in their dreams. And some people we get in relationships with, that really isn't their truth. We could love them, they could love us, but maybe they're immature, maybe they're defensive, maybe they're materialistic. More so, it's like, well, I'm not as naive as I was before. I learned that not everybody's motivated and inspired by love. I need to go find the people who think there's more to life than just these things of the world. A higher truth and justice to aspire to and love. What's coming up that you don't see? The Six of Wands with the Seven of Cups. Why? Because of the Seven of Wands. You are going to move forward victoriously, either with someone in Scorpio energy that you feel you could have a deep, meaningful relationship, move forward, get to a point where you're moving forward, getting out of your inner conflict and your ego about some other people, to believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, have new beginnings with people, new jobs, new friendships, new romantic relationships. Why? Because in the Seven of Wands, you were inspired to take this action to believe in yourself, to get out of your inner conflict and things that kept you in a more shadowy nature of fear, insecurity, or pride, or ego, or defensiveness. And because you are willing to stand up for yourself and what you believe in, and you're not kind of indulging in doing just what seems practical and logical, and, making your life more about the world, and maybe indulging people in their defensive nature, their pride, or their ego. You are willing to get out of your ego and listen to your intuition and believe in yourself and believe in your dreams, not settle for the illusion. You had victory over the illusion. The world and our more shadowy nature tries to make us think, oh no, you'll be happy, make your life about this. You don't have to work through your fear and your insecurity and your pride and your ego or your more immature, indulgent nature. Do that, you'll be happy. But you already did it, and it just kind of confused you because there were things you invested in that you thought would make you happy, that seemed to make practical, logical sense. But whatever you invested in, you kind of felt left out in the cold, and you could have kind of felt like you were being manipulated, and maybe that people were manipulating your more hopeful, believing, loving nature, or even using the love that you have for them to try to manipulate you. Seeming like they were turning their back to you, like if you didn't do things the way they wanted you to, then they would turn their back on you. It's like, well, that's not very just and fair, but they might like to present themselves in the world as being very just and fair and emotionally mature and stable and grounded, but they're really maybe kind of a little bit their way or the highway. And you weren't willing to stay in relationships with people who you could have felt were really trying to emotionally confuse you about the truth of who they were, because you could have felt you're harnessing high vibe Leo energy. The Six and the Seven of Wands is Leo energy, but they could try to create the illusion that they kind of have like hope and faith and belief and love, but it could just be kind of an illusion. And in their more defensive nature, it can be to kind of indulge himself in a relationship, but being defensive to really seeing the truth that it is about love. But they could be defensive to letting their more authentic, vulnerable, hopeful, believing nature out to play in the world. And it's like, well, then I'm in a relationship with someone who's always kind of defensive, and it does kind of feel like you're indulging in a relationship with me instead of being more authentic and loving, and seem to be defensive to dealing with whatever stops you from being more open and authentic and loving. And I can't make you do that work if you're defensive to it. But as long as you stay defensive, it is kind of maybe not really being authentic or just or fair, maybe more bossy or controlling or manipulative. And I don't want to be in relationships with people like that. So you saw through the illusion and see someone could be more driven by their ego or their defensive nature or their more materialistic nature or indulgent nature. And it's like, that's not my truth, and that's not the kind of relationship I want to be in. So I think you'll move forward victoriously, and as you move forward in that energy, other people are going to want to be in a relationship with you because they see you're not in this more worldly, shadowy energy. You're not living more from your mind than your heart. You're not being strategic. You're not trying to manipulate people. You're not trying to control people or tempt people with your assets of the world, your emotions or your sexuality or your looks or your charm or your money. You're being authentic. And people can see that. And they've been in relationships with people who are more worldly, shadowy focused, and they don't want to be in relationships with people who are like that either. And the people who are on the same page as you will want to be in relationships with you. But we always do have to listen to our intuition. Can always be people who want to be in a relationship with you because they just want to be the next person to indulge in a relationship with you. And it's like, I've learned to listen to my intuition and stand up for myself, or maybe before I didn't stand up for myself. And I've learned how to love and believe in myself and give myself the things that I wish other people would have given me. Maybe before I could have felt more left out in the cold and maybe in more codependent energy and maybe wanting to be in a relationship with people for those reasons, but I'm not the same person I was before. And if someone comes towards you, they're going to see that you are more willing to stand up for yourself and what you believe in, and not just going to get in a relationship with anyone, because it's not about trying to create an illusion of, look, I've moved on. Look, I'm in a new relationship. Look, you want something that's authentic and truthful, or you're going to keep moving on, waiting, so you don't get tangled up in a relationship that you shouldn't have been in to begin with. And there's some people right now that could be tangled up in something. Some of those people could kind of like to want to be in a relationship with you, but in order to be in a relationship with you, they'd have to be willing to reveal the truth. And some people will, some people won't. Maybe I did get myself tangled up in something. Maybe I did make my life more about me or the world or these things of the world. And they'd have to be willing to speak their truth and take action in truth and love to be in a relationship with you. And for some of them, their more worldly, egoic nature and maybe other people in their life are telling them they shouldn't do that. You should keep staying aligned with us. You should keep being in friendships with us. Keep being in relationships with us. And because some of those people could be manipulated kind of by their more shadowy Sagittarius energy of still kind of being motivated by these things of the world, or manipulated by people in their life, or manipulated by their more immature nature, they haven't gotten out of their ego to be really willing to stand up for themselves, to their shadow nature, and other people in their life. And as long as they're not doing that, then we just deal with the truth of it. They're not ready to move forward with me in this way, so I'm going to keep moving forward in this way. I'm not going to keep staying stuck, waiting maybe for someone else to work through their issues. I'm going to keep moving forward, keeping my options open, enjoying the people in my life and enjoying my life. And I'm not going to get myself tangled up in some bullshit out of ego or because I'm sad. I'm going to keep giving myself the things I wish other people would give me until the people who are on the same page as me, I meet. What's coming up for the people who might harness a more worldly, shadowy Gemini energy that they don't see coming? The Two of Swords. Why? Because of the Fool. what I think's they're gonna, I think that, it's kind of like shadowy energy that we have lessons to learn because we haven't realized to be more authentically ourselves, stand up for ourselves, believe in ourselves, love ourselves. We've got some hard lessons to learn. And that's kind of when the devil comes into our life. All these things that we think, I don't have to do that. I'm sure I'll be happy living my life like this. I think they're going to end up feeling stuck. Because instead of going on a journey of being inspired to work through these issues and get out of their ego and their inner conflict and these things that manipulate them, they repeated a past pattern. And then they'll feel stuck because when we go down the wrong path, we learn lessons in life that, oops, I guess I took the wrong path. Well, then are people willing to get out of their ego to admit they had lessons to learn and do this work to free themselves and move forward in the world with other people in the world who've learned lessons in life? But some of them keep repeating this old pattern. Why? In the Two of Swords, they keep wanting to stay in denial of the truth, which can be, I am more about myself. I could be kind of immature. I could like to live more from my mind than my heart. I like to indulge myself in the world, and I like people to indulge me in a relationship. I am kind of more about these things of the world than love. And I think they'll keep repeating it over and over, and they'll keep feeling stuck in what they manifest because it's not based on truth and love. It's more caught up in the illusion of all these things. But if they keep refusing to see the truth, they'll keep doing it over and over. When do we finally realize, oh, what I keep doing doesn't get me the outcome that I want? Let's do it again. Let's try it with someone else. And then they try it with someone else, and it doesn't work out again. The problem is, other people are dealing with people who do listen to their intuition, and eventually some higher vibe people in their life who do listen to their intuition, even though they could have kept repeating a pattern with this person, hoping they'd heal or grow or mature themselves, and the dream could come into reality. Eventually they realize nothing's going to change here. And I keep feeling stuck in this relationship. And then they decide, you know what? I'm going to do things differently. I'm not going to keep giving in to my fear, my insecurity, my immature, indulgent, codependent nature. I'm going to do this work to work through my own issues to move forward. And I'm going to offer the people in my life, if they want to move forward with me in that way, they can. But if they want to keep repeating this old pattern, then I'm moving forward without them. Just like some of you did. There's other people in the world that are going through this. And some of those people are kind of like, why do I keep hoping other people will change? Or if I don't like living my life like this, why do I keep living my life this way? What is it that keeps me... I keep looking to things for them to be the answer to my problems, and they keep not being the answer to my problems. So maybe I need to do this work within myself, to love and believe in myself, so that I don't keep looking to whatever I look to, ego, image, drugs, booze, being in a relationship, to be the answer to my problems. I am the answer to my problems. I need to work through my regrets of the past and my self-limiting beliefs to believe in my dreams, put life in perspective, look at life from a higher perspective, get out of my competitive nature, my ego nature, my more immature nature, and stand up for myself and believe in my dreams and quit letting these things eat away at the foundation of myself. I need to have victory over those things, or my ego nature, my immature nature, my prideful nature keeps running my life. And it keeps not getting me where I want to be. And I need to see the truth of it and start listening to my intuition instead of doing what seems logical and practical, what might seem like a good investment. How about I listen to my intuition, and if my intuition is telling me stop doing that, quit thinking I'm the boss and that I can control it or I can manipulate it to go my way. How about I deal with the truth that Maybe we're just not on the same page, and I need to go find people who are more on the same page as me. And then we have more people in the world who have kind of gotten out of some more mismatched jobs, friendships, and relationships, and they can go maybe find people in the world who are more on the same page as them. So, there you go, Gemini energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.